Hey everyone, Jim Gash here, president of Pepperdine, now just finishing 3 months.
We figured it out.
So my name is Andrea Harris. I'm the Senior Director of Student Administrative Services at Seaver College.
I'm Elizabeth McLaughlin and I'm a freshman here at Pepperdine.
I'm Anya.
I'm Heath.
Hi, I'm Caden. I'm a student at Pepperdine.
Hi, my name is Jack, but I'm talking for Caden, who's a freshman at Pepperdine.
My faith as a Christian, I'm a follower of Jesus, and I consider myself to be that first and foremost. I attend church on Sundays, and now actually on Saturday nights as well here on campus at a place called the University Church of Christ. So I consider myself to be a Christian who attends church at a Church of Christ.
I am from India and I practice Hinduism, and yeah, I think I'm pretty religious.
I'm from India as well, but I feel like I'm more culturally religious just because I do practice like a lot of the festivals, and I do feel like I believe in a lot of the beliefs, but I don't have a strong sense of God or like gods, I guess.
So my faith is that I'm a Roman Catholic, but growing up my dad was raised Catholic and my mom was raised Baptist, so it was really important to my mom that I found my own faith, so I wasn't actually converted until my sophomore year of high school.
I am Jewish. I am definitely a minority at a Christian campus. You don't say. But I was born, it's a matrilineal religion, so it's determined by the faith of the mother. I was born into it, and I'm raising my family in the same way.
I grew up as a Presbyterian actually, but now I don't have a religion.
So I think for my faith, and I think my faith and culture both are a very big important part of my life, especially from where I come from. It just gives me a sense of home in a way where I can find my own identity, and just believing in God gives me a sense of accomplishing things and helping others, just doing things for people surrounding me. So I think I believe a lot in not practicing religion just by reading the Holy Scripture or just by praying every Sunday or going to a temple, but I think it's through your deeds and through karma, which is like whatever deeds you do, you face consequences based on that.
I think it's very similar for me as well. Like I feel Hinduism teaches some beliefs and values that I feel most people in India follow. It's just values that every religion has at their core. It's like respecting other people, loving everyone, just being nice to everyone. So I feel like yes, that does play a huge. I don't feel that there's this sense of higher being that has control over a lot of aspects of my life, but just me in itself. And I feel like I maybe pick and choose what I want from Hinduism.
For me, it's sort of the what I live by to determine how to be as a person. In Hebrew, the term is tikkun olam, which is to repair the world and to heal the world, and that's something that I take very seriously. Like not literally like planting things, even though that's part of it too, but more if you like look around your community and see that your community needs something, I always want to step in and do what I can. Even if my community is lovely students at Pepperdine, it is my honor and my blessing to do that, and I do think that that's part of my faith heritage.
My faith means everything to me. It is the basis for the decisions that I make, for the choices I exercise in every aspect of my life, for how I raise my children, for how I try to deal with people in my relationships. It is the single most compelling aspect of who I am. It's my identity.
It means a lot to me. I feel like for the longest time I was kind of looking for somebody to believe in and looking for somebody to be on my side, and a lot of the time I felt alone, but whenever I found the Catholic faith, I not only found kind of like a community and a love connection with God, but I also found one with the kind of unity of the entire Catholic community, like around the world. We're all just kind of here for each other, always.
It's the reason that I get up in the morning to go to work at Pepperdine. Every morning, my chief of staff and I meet here at 7 a.m. after working out together. And we grab these cushions here, and we walk over, and we set them down right here, and we kneel with the cross here on my left, on the theme tower, a cross over on the right, on top of the chapel, a cross up behind us on the hill. And we give the day to God every morning and pray for our students and for our faculty and for our staff and for the future of this institution. So how it affects my life is in everything that I do. So it's the animating feature in everything I do that drives what I believe life is ultimately about, and that is finding meaning and serving others because of who Christ is.
Or it's a roadmap. So in a lot of cases, if I'm faced with a question, I want to think about like what's a good way to handle something, and I have to keep in mind, I want to keep in mind if I'm doing the right thing for the other person. And sometimes the right thing might even be saying no, but if that's the case, then doing it with grace and with a lack of judgment and with love. The difficulty that I have on a day-to-day basis also is because we're currently in a climate politically and in some places where it's not cool to be a Jew. And people are getting dumped on just for that, for whatever reason. And I'm always, I'm nervous sometimes, not to the point that I would ever hide it, because that wouldn't be, but I'm keenly aware that there are people who would dislike me without knowing me at all, simply because of that's who I am. And I do seek to change that with everybody. I don't want anyone to make judgments about anybody else because they're a different person, different faith, different orientation, different anything.
Everyday life, especially being here at a Christian school, it's not as standoutish as probably most religions are, like Hinduism and Buddhism, but sometimes I'm confronted with the, are you even really a Christian? What do you even do? I remember one time somebody asked me if Catholicism was a cult, so that was a really interesting question to answer. But for the most part, there is a large Catholic community here, so I kind of feel at home.
Religion doesn't affect my everyday life, but when I have conversations with other people about religion, it's kind of weird because they're talking about all their beliefs and how they think, and I don't have any of that.
Just coming from India, a big part of our culture and faith is just celebrating different festivals and following different rituals and traditions back home. And it kind of is sad that I cannot follow all of them over here because it's just a completely different environment and I do not meet as many people who follow the religion or understand it. So it's more about my personal journey of faith, especially here at Pepperdine.
Over there, you're right, like we practiced our religion more, we practiced, our faith and everything more, and we were more into that. But being here, there's almost like this disconnect, I feel, for myself, because it's almost like, okay, over there I had to, over here I don't have to. Here, like I feel like I'm more free to, but then again, there's like Christianity around, and which also influences, like, I feel everyone as, just being around a different religion, you start embodying some of their beliefs as well. And yeah.
At Pepperdine, it's interesting to be a Jewish person. Obviously, I'm a minority, which is fine. I don't mind it at all. I'm very, very fortunate. My supervisor, his name is Hung. He is fantastic. And knowing that I came from a different background, so like my first or second holidays here, like the Christmas holidays, he came in and gave me blue lights and said, I want you to have your blue and white lights because you're Jewish. And he gave me a glass menorah to put up and gave me gels to put on the window. And he said, I always want you to feel comfortable that you can represent. I can say, with one exception, which was a horrible situation, by and large, it's been a very hospitable environment for me. I try to make myself available to people who feel that they are the other. Whatever makes somebody feel that they are different or shouldn't be here or don't belong, I especially want to be available to them.
During the week when I'm studying, I don't really notice it, but on Sundays, I definitely notice it because I'll notice that all of my friends are at church. And also, like, before tests, when people, like, pray to God and stuff, like, I can't really do that, so it's kind of hard to connect religion in the classroom.
So there's actually a Catholic Student Association here at Pepperdine, and every weekend we go to church, and it's right across the street at Our Lady of Malibu. It's so gorgeous. once a week on a Wednesday they'll have mass actually here at the chapel, and it's so beautiful. I also get to help out at all those masses, so it's really fun to like be the Eucharistic minister or to be the lector and to just really be a part of my church community, both at my church and here at Pepperdine.
The way my faith plays into my life at Pepperdine is the way I start each meeting. We begin in prayer. We focus on the aspects of this transition for students for the undergrads, from leaving home, often for the first time, and becoming a member of our society, independent. Our goal is during that time to help them become who they're going to be through the lens of faith, by showing them who created them, who loves them, how it might look to live as a follower of Christ. So that's what the goal of Pepperdine Institution is to strengthen students academically, spiritually, and relationally. And so it's the reason that we're here. We're not a wannabe Stanford, who's a wannabe Harvard, who's a wannabe Oxford. That's not who we are. We're an institution that's very different.
I think my faith, it was difficult in the beginning, especially coming to a different country where it is, and a school which is dominated by one religion, and just coming into and having no idea about that religion. I think it was just too much and too overwhelming at first, but I think gradually I became more open-minded to learn more and just to gain more perspectives about what other religion beliefs are and what other people around me think, and it actually allowed me to just strengthen my own faith, because I was able to take 3 Bible classes. I was able to read parts of the Quran for a Middle Eastern class. I was able to go to a Jewish synagogue, and then I practiced another religion. So all these just explorations in different religions allowed me to strengthen my own faith and just helped me to understand why I believe what I believe.
I feel like just because just people here are like open to hearing and understanding about different religions and cultures, it makes it easy for you, like, you know, for me at least, to express myself. And like I've had conversations in the caf. So there was this one conversation I had in the caf with this boy from my.
I was there.
She was there from my religion class, and we were talking about, I don't know if you were there, okay, anyway, we were talking about like the Holy Trinity, and how we had very similar, like we have Shiv, Brahma, Vishnu, who are like, you know, the creator, the destroyer, and the preserver, and just how similar like our religions were in terms of, like, you know, just core beliefs and, like, I guess the hierarchy and the principles and values. And again, like, it just strengthens my belief that all religions at their core are the same, because all religions want people to be good, want people to be happy, want people, you know, to love and to understand. And yeah, so that's it. Cool.
Being a follower of Christ means bringing those around us into community together, regardless of whether they're following Christ or not.
There's nothing specific that I would say I want people to know, except that I don't want anyone to perceive me or somebody else, like I said before, and be like, oh, I could never know that person because we don't have the same beliefs.
Okay, so growing up Presbyterian, I definitely understand where they're coming from. It's just right now I kind of like took a step back from religion. You know, when I'm older, maybe I'll make a choice to go back to practicing religion, but for right now, I'm just not religious.
And it can be lonely sometimes, I think, just doing things by yourself, which you used to do with your family, or like, and by family we mean we have really big gatherings of family, like 25 or 30 people, and it's so collectivistic culture. So I think that just this individualistic culture also kind of affects my religion and faith here.
So weird, like everything you hear about Catholics is how like strict and like scary they kind of are, and like how strict they are, but like really it's just a bunch of people who kind of like a little bit of structure in their prayer life and are really there for each other. So I kind of found home in that community.